Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing blessed, I am feeling good. I'm feeling healthy. Yeah. How about you?
I'm doing good. Could you start by introducing yourself?
Yes, of course. My name is Enoch. I use he, him pronouns. I'm 18 years old, and I come from Quebec and Uganda.
Cool. Which part of Quebec do you come from?
From Montreal, the 514. I wasn't born there, but I was raised there. I lived my whole life there. So yeah, Montreal.
Great. Enoch, tell me a little bit of what brought you to UWC. How did you hear about UWC, or how did you decide to apply?
Yeah, it's very simple actually. The main reason why I decided to come to UWC was my older brother. He found out about UWC from like a counselor at our old school. We went to the same school, and that counselor was just like, "Damn, you really would fit perfectly at this school. It's for leaders. It's for people who are outgoing, people who want to see the world." And she thought my brother was a great fit, and I was not any of those things at the time. But as he went, he was 3 years older than me, and like by hearing his stories and hearing like what his experience meant to him, that's kind of what encouraged me to like take that step and to kind of step outside my comfort zone and try something different. And I'm here today because of my brother.
That's amazing. Enoch, what are you planning to do after your Pearson experience finishes in 2 weeks?
Well, first of all, I'm going home. I really miss my family. I miss my mom, miss my dad. I miss being able to cook. And yeah, that's like the first thing. I'll be going home, I'll be playing football, I'll be working, and I mean next year I'm planning to like study engineering. I know, very sad. But yeah, I mean that's one of my passions, like sciences, and hopefully I think I'll be at UBC. Fingers crossed.
Yay.
And yeah, like I'm just ready for the next chapter, I guess. I'm not really too like set on what's gonna happen. I feel like life is just gonna do what it wants with me, And like being here 2 years, I've kind of realized that you can't really plan too far ahead because things change. And yeah, like what happens.
And going a little bit with that topic about UWC and how it changes you, could you share something that you learned at Pearson?
Something I learned here. Well, one thing I definitely learned was patience, because I don't know if this is a UWC thing or a Pearson thing, but it's really hard to like get people to come to places on time. So whether that be like a discussion that you're holding in common room, for example, or if you need to like meet up with someone for a project, or if you even want to like go play like basketball at the tennis courts, like yeah, there's a lot of waiting for people, and I mean through that kind of just learn how to, I guess, be conscious that like people have things going on. You can't always like anticipate what others are going through, so you kind of just have to live with it and adapt. And people will be late, but sometimes through that you can just learn to move on and not hold on to like minimal things, like things that aren't so important. But like being on time is super important. So
yes,
I guess like can't let it slide. But yeah, I've learned how to just like be okay with not having everything perfect, and like the outcome like will be what it is. You just have to wait for it to get to that point, I guess.
could you share with me, us, I don't know, a experience, well actually maybe like a memory you have at Pearson that it's something that comes up to your mind and you're like, I I don't want to forget this memory ever?
There's a lot of those, but one like major memory. Oh my goodness, basketball tournament. Basketball tournament. Last year, the basketball tournament was like during winter break, and a time when we were all kind of like stuck on campus. We couldn't go home, and yeah, it was just like a nice change of pace. You know, we went from like doing nothing all day to like wow, playing basketball, house competition, and I mean like this year was even better because I was actually like one of the organizers, and I got to see like behind the scenes. You know, we could have had it at an actual school, like inside, like an indoor gym would have been amazing. Sadly, that didn't work out, but it was a highlight for me because it was so nice to like give back to this community and like give people something that they could like really enjoy, and something that they can like use to have like a study break and like take their mind off of all the not so fun and not so exciting things here, and like obviously my house won, so so that's also a positive.
Yeah. Going a little bit back to applying to UWC, could you share how was the Enoch before applying to UWC? What were your passions, or what did you like to do? What were your interests before coming to UWC?
Well, Enoch before UWC was kind of boring. Yeah, I mean, passions. Enoch really loved music. He loved music, and he still loves music. But he was never really someone who would kind of like share that with others. He kind of kept to himself. Yeah, he was in like choirs and like things like that, but when there wasn't other people around, he wasn't someone who would kind of like take space. He was just like in his own little corner doing his own little thing with the earphones in.
Interesting.
And I mean, he played sports, but he didn't really spend much time like hanging out with friends or anything. He would just like go home, cook, do his homework, and yeah, he just had a lot of time to himself. He liked to read, as I said, music, and yeah, he was quite a like. Looking at me now, I'm like, damn, I was so boring before. I didn't like go on adventures at night and discover new things. I didn't really, I didn't do anything that would make me uncomfortable. I didn't like go up to random people and just introduce myself and like start talking about like anything and everything, High School Musical or like dance videos. It's Matt Stefanina. I don't know if you know who that is, but he's a really great choreographer, dancer. Besides the point, yeah, he's very introverted.
Great. Enoch, what would you advise to people who are applying to UWC?
What advice would I give them? I would say, maybe I'll say two things.
Great.
The first thing is try everything when you come to UWC, because, and obviously like I've only experienced Pearson, so I can't speak for other schools, but there's so much like to offer, like there's so much that you can do, and this is the best place to like try new things and make mistakes that like won't come back to haunt you later on in life, because you're around people that are there to support you and that are there to lift you up rather than bring you down. So like don't leave. Well, okay, make sure when you come here you don't leave with regrets, and the way to do that is to try like everything that you can. If you've never been in like computer sciences or anything like that, join a computer science club. If you've never swam ever in your life, learn how to swim if your school allows it. And like, yeah, just like if you've never danced before, like try performing at like a regional day or a musical cafe or something, and just do whatever you want. because you might not have that opportunity later when you leave. That's one. And two, call home. Yeah, call home, because it's so easy to just like get so caught up in everything that you just forget your parents. I'm really bad for that. So don't follow my example. Call home. It doesn't have to be every day. It can be like once a week. I told my mom I would call her once a week at the beginning of the year, and that turned into like once every like 2 months.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I mean, your parents love you and they want to know how you're doing, and it doesn't have to be something like super long and extensive. It can just be like, you know, my week was great. You know, I learned something new. I tried something new. I failed my econ paper, whatever. But yeah, just some updates, you know, so that they don't feel in the dark. Yeah.
And Enoch, to conclude, is there any message you'd like to share to the world?
A message.
Yes.
To the world? Yo, this is this is a lot of pressure. What if I say the wrong thing? You
To
know?
my small world.
Let me think about it. Okay. I have a message. It's not a perfect message, but it's a message nonetheless. Okay? So, success. Listen. I'm gonna say it one more time. Success is something that happens when opportunity meets preparation. All right? So if you want to be successful, you got to make sure you're prepared for every opportunity.
I'm gonna insert clapping sounds here.
Damn.
Thank you so much, Enoch.
No worries. I hope